Hi, I'm Justin Frichte, Forage Specialist with Millborn Seeds. After being a customer of Millborn Seeds, you should now know that we do things just a little bit different than most companies. You see, we value that knowledge and service that goes behind every one of our products. In this short little video, I want to educate you about some of the new products for 2011 and discuss some of those classic performers that have worked so well for you in the past. Now I know that not every product is going to be a fit for every operation, and that's why it's so important to design a plan that is ultimately going to mesh with your farm or range. Thanks for taking the time out of your schedule to watch this video, and if you have any questions about what we covered today, make sure you call me, Justin Frichte, Forage Specialist with Millborn Seeds. The first thing we're going to talk about is alfalfa. Matt Fensky and I went over to Wisconsin this past year to a breeder in Wisconsin, and we picked out 3 new products to come into our alfalfa lineup. And the first and most exciting one is called First Extra, and this is a hybrid alfalfa that uses MS Sunstra technology. This is a 4.0 fall dormancy alfalfa, and so this is really going to get your maximum yields for any alfalfa producer. One of the neatest things about this product is that it has really dense uniform stands. And when we have those dense stands, there's a lot of other great side effects that come from that. The first one being drought resistance. If we're covering that soil, we're going to prevent less water evaporation, which means better drought resistance within that field. The other thing is we're going to have less weed pressure if we can cover that soil better in that first year. And if we have less weeds in that stand of alfalfa, that hay or that forage is going to be better quality in the long run. Another really neat feature of the First Extra is the fine stems. Those fine stems is going to be quicker drying time initially in the field. We're going to have a denser, better packed bale, and when we go and we feed that bale, it's going to be more palatable to all classes of livestock. We're going to have less waste in the feeder. The next alfalfa that we brought in is called our Persist 2, and this is another 4.0 fall dormancy, another really high yielding one, and I think this product here is best for those producers that have been making high quality, high yielding alfalfa for years, but maybe aren't ready to take that step to hybrid alfalfa. This product has shown great broad adaptability in lots of different fields. The disease resistance is awesome. It has a DRI index of 30, so major resistance to a lot of those alfalfa nematodes and bacterial and fusarium wilts. And another great thing about Persist 2 is its persistence. After each cutting, you're going to see better regrowth compared to any other alfalfa in its class. And one of the neatest alfalfas that we brought into the lineup is called Prolific 2. Now, Prolific 2 has a branch-rooted root on it. So this is different than all the other alfalfas in that they have a tap root. So having that branch root means that we're having that crown of the alfalfa stay above the ground. And so the best place for the Prolific 2 alfalfa is in those wet, low areas of the field that get drowned out in the spring or have standing water. Some of the other cool benefits that we've seen is traffic tolerance. You know, rather than having that one tap root getting ran over and getting cracked and broken, you have a branch root that stands up better. So if you have tractors running over it, it stands up better over time. So that pretty much completes our alfalfa lineup. I think bringing those 3 in can really fit any situation for any operation, and I'm really excited to see those out in the field next year. We're going to move into pasture grasses, which has always been Millborn's flagship. We've had a lot of mixes that have done excellent jobs over the years, but this past year had a lot of calls from producers saying, you know, I have this lot that I like to turn cows and calves out early. It's seen a lot of hoof traffic. It usually gets overgrazed, and I need something that's going to be durable, yet it's going to provide a little bit of grass. And this is the type of mix that we've always recommended, is this calving pasture mix that we've now designed and named as a custom blend that we've had. And there's 6 different grasses in there that have all been bred to withstand some of that overgrazing, to withstand that hoof traffic, and they have a deep root system, and they're going to form a sod over time to make sure that we have a great durable pasture for those cows and calves who go out early in the season. The next lineup that we're going to discuss is cool season annual forages. And the first one that I want to discuss is a forage barley that we brought in. Out there and visited with the producer, and this stand was just gorgeous. You know, it was very, very tall. He'd been breeding this barley for a few years. He feeds it all as hay to his cattle, and he claimed that, you know, that his cows would eat this barley before they'd eat second cutting alfalfa. But it has some truth to it because it makes a really soft, palatable hay, and without that beard or awn at the top of the seed head, you know, it becomes more palatable to cows. They have less irritation in their mouth or eyes, so they can really dig into that bale and get the most out of it. The next product that we made for our cool season forages is called multigrain, and this is simply just a mixture of some triticale, that forage barley, and then oats. And we've had a couple guys that really like to do this with their cool season field, getting some increased yields. You know, you have more plant competition amongst each other, so they compete for sunlight and growth, and so ultimately we've seen some higher yields in those fields. And the third and last new product that we have is called OptiGraze, and this one's been designed for those guys that are rotationally grazing through a small paddock, and they want to create a high plan of nutrition for their cattle out there. And so this is a mixture of turnips, hunter, wind-fed rape, a little bit of millet in there, as well as some oats. And so we have a great diverse blend that has been shown to have a lot of protein in their diet, and also it regrows really good after time. So we'll come in there, we'll graze it, we'll move the cattle to the next paddock, let it rest for 30 days, and we're going to have good regrowth to come back into. The last topic we're going to cover is our warm season annual forages. Jason Trombach and myself drove down to Vega, Texas this past summer to get an education on the sorghum hybrids, and we came back with a few new products as well. And that first product I want to talk about is called Gene 12. Gene 12 is a BMR forage sorghum. The reason we chose this product is because it's a very sweet sorghum. We gave it the name Gene 12 because when they detect that BMR trait, they look at 3 different genes. It's either on Gene 6, Gene 12, or Gene 18. And this company that bred this forage sorghum is the only company using this Gene 12 marker to find the BMR trait. And that's why we went with it. That's why we named it the Gene 12. It's still made for this area up here in South Dakota, but the palatability and the reduced lignin in this sorghum is really going to help your cattle in the feedlot or whatever class livestock is going to be consuming it. The next product we came home with is called Cow Conditioner. Cow Conditioner is a sorghum sedan grass hybrid. It also contains the BMR trait, but the neat thing about Cow Conditioner is it's very, very palatable. They were having a grazing trial held down at the breeding facilities when we viewed and toured the facility down there, and Cow Conditioner was hands down winning this grazing trial. They turned all the cows out, they had free choice of whatever hybrid they wanted to eat, and they chose to eat this Cow Conditioner first. That's why we like it. It's going to work great for grazing situations, or if people want to chop it for silage, it's still going to work good for that. And the last product is called Herds First, which is a hybrid pearl millet. That too contains the BMR trait. But this is for those guys that either want to have something that they can graze, or if they want to have the option to hay it, they can plant it at a heavier rate. They're going to get finer stems with this. Makes a lot of tonnage in a short amount of time for making hay. So those are the 3 products that we're going to add to our warm season forage lineup this coming year. So moving on to those products that you've seen for a long time now that have really done a great job in your farm. The first topic we're going to talk about is our pasture grasses. The best one in our lineup, I think, is our number 3 pasture. This is our pasture mix that's been formulated to really go out in any soil. If guys want to graze it, they can. If they want to make hay, it still makes a high quality hay. It's done good in different climates. If it gets dry or if it's seeing some wet weather, it still stands up. So that one we're certainly gonna bring out for the 2011, and I know it's gonna do good for years to come. And the other thing that that I really like to reiterate is that we do custom blending. So if it's a native pasture that you want to get designed out on your field, if you want to put it back into some big blue stem, or you want to get some warm seasons involved in your cool season pasture, we can formulate that mix to make sure that it's right for your operation and it fits your land. Another thing that we've we've done great with, I think, is our pea oat mix. This is a 40-60 blend of peas and oats. Guys have really come to like this. It provides a ton of yield in a short amount of time, and it's good quality hay when you have those peas involved in it. Now, just a couple years ago, we brought in our Everleaf 126 forage oats. And a lot of producers have used this for a second or third time now. And that oat is really a broad leaf. It's certainly a lot taller than your regular old V&S forage oat. And so it makes a really good silage, I think. And it can be put up as hay as well, as long as you get the right amount of drying time within that span. Orchard grass. This has really gained a lot of popularity, I think, in the past years, with guys incorporating orchard grass into their alfalfa. Having that orchard grass in there is certainly going to increase your drying time in the field. It adds a really soft, palatable hay to it. If you're starting calves and you like to use alfalfa, but you're worried about bloat, or you don't want to spend the amount of time getting them up to full feed of that alfalfa, throw a little orchard grass in there so that it's not quite as rich. And what I like to do in those fields is use a variety called Latar orchard grass. It's later maturity and matches up with the maturity time of the alfalfa, so you still have that good quality hay out there. We've highlighted just a few of the forages that may be right for your operation. This past year, I spent a lot of time out on the road finding the very best high quality seed that's going to be the best for your farm, and it's going to be the best for this region. I really believe that if we design a plan, we can get the right forage that's going to fit your land and your livestock. Now, getting that forage correct to fit your livestock's nutritional needs at the correct stage of their life is very critical, so that they ultimately gain more or milk more. And when that happens, you get more dollars in your pocket. Now, what's key is getting this plan designed. We need to formulate that plan so we get the correct seed to fit your soil, your climate, your planting technique, your harvest strategy, and then the livestock you're feeding. And I hope this has sparked your interest for spring planting, and we can get that plan designed. Thank you very much for watching.